Hey yogis, it's Taryn here, and today we're going to be doing another restorative yoga class, grabbing a lot of pillows. So I've got about 4 pillows here, so just grab some or even do this practice in bed if it feels good. I'm just going to take things really gentle and light today. I haven't been feeling great this weekend, and so sometimes it's just nice to force ourselves to slow down and enjoy these poses that are built to help restore and rejuvenate the body, hence restorative yoga. So just join me on our backs today. We're going to grab a couple pillows, maybe the longer pillows. And before we begin here, just make a little pile of the pillows behind you. So you'll come onto your back, rested on the pillows. And depending, you might grab a smaller pillow if you'd like to put underneath your head. Just see whichever way feels best for you, without or with the head support. Just see what feels good here. Legs are straight out in front, unless, of course, that doesn't feel good. You can bend the feet or bend the knees, feet on the earth here. And the arms will just come down by the side. So there should be enough room on the side of the pillows to allow the elbows to fold, hands to come down to both sides, palms up, just letting the shoulders really drop down away from the ears, opening the chest a little bit as we sit on these pillows. And we're still start right here. So enjoying this pose, sinking in. And just checking in with how the body feels in this position. Sometimes I tend to slide down a little bit and lose the extra back bend. And I really like my back to be super arched in this one. But you could have your back less arched with fewer pillows. Just kind of see what feels right here. Maybe having to readjust if you slide around. And again, it's just allowing this open space of the chest as we enjoy this resting pose. And in all the restorative postures that we take today, the focus really is going to be on how much you can release and let go in each posture. So we have a tendency of gently holding the body up in really subtle ways, or sometimes more dramatic ways. And so today will be really about checking in and seeing where you can release, where you can let go, where you can become heavier, knowing that the floor below you is fully capable of taking your weight. So don't feel the need to hold anything up. Just let it relax here. Just checking in with the breath, starting to naturally take longer, sweeter, gentler breaths here. So less focused on the deep, heavy Ujjayi breath, and just more subdued, more relaxed. Maybe still trying to keep the inhalations and exhalations through the nose. And maybe making those exhales a bit longer than the inhales. This will help us to start to engage the parasympathetic nervous system and start really calming down the body the way we would like to, just sinking in here. And just taking this time today to recognize the self-care practice that we're doing. We have a tendency to want to be productive, or want to do things that have a purpose. We're a very purpose-driven culture. And sometimes resting yoga classes don't feel as goal-oriented as, say, a power class, or one of my classes designed to maybe work out the abs or work out an area of the body. When we allow ourselves to drop into more of a yin, more of a restorative class, it can be challenging because we feel like we're being lazy or like we're not doing very much. But it's in these moments that we're able to give us the time we need to show up better for the other classes, or for the people in our lives, or for the work that we do, or the passion projects we have going on. We have to take these moments to be able to enjoy the rest of it. And when you're ready, we're going to start moving out of this pose really gently here. So if you have the knees bent or unbent, maybe you change that up for coming up, see what feels best, using the hands by your sides, pushing us up into a gentle seat here. And we'll throw the knees around to one side and making our way into a child's pose. So if you already have your pillows stacked where you'd like them, you can keep them right there. I'm going to move them around to the other side. And just for a normal extended child's pose, we'll bring the big toes together, knees as wide as the mat here, sitting back onto the heels. Now my knees are feeling a little bit tight today, so what I'm going to do is actually place the pillow or folded blanket behind my knees, and I'll sit back onto the pillow. This is going to create a little bit of more space between my legs. It's going to help to take the pressure off my knees. And then just to make sure I'm ultra comfy today, bringing the pillow in between my thighs. And I'll come to lay fully on the belly here. And you might need multiple pillows. I might decide to grab this other one here, place it underneath the forehead. Maybe taking off my glasses would be good. And we'll just sink in here. So again, arms may rest down by the side. Depending on what feels right for you, you might roll the head over to one side, or resting on the forehead. There's no right or wrong here. And just noticing the movement of the belly. Breathing in, the belly might expand. It might even touch the pillows. And as you exhale, the belly button pulls up towards the spine. See if you can relax the body a little bit more on each exhale, releasing Dropping further into this pose. Dropping further into the hips. And again, just recognizing where you're holding on here, where you need to let go. Allow the heaviness to take over, and the body to sink in. And if you have your gaze over to one side, it might feel good to switch, looking in the other direction so the neck releases in the other way. And just letting today's theme, today's letting go, releasing, let this be a metaphor for what's happening in the mind, in the emotional space as well. You might find that the more we can let go of the body, we might start to experience emotions that we usually cast aside, that we usually hide away. Just recognize, allow the thoughts and the emotions to be and come as they are. And when you're ready, we'll begin to really gently, really slow moving today. Press ourselves back up. Beautiful. And moving the pillows aside here. Gonna make our way into some lovely pigeon poses, opening the hips, further allowing that release, especially if we've got some emotional things hanging out today. Pigeon pose can be really good release for that. So, having the pillows nearby, let's just come up to tabletop here and just maybe find some gentle movement for a moment. Just kind of release things, whether you're shaking the hips side to side or taking some cat-cows or whatever really feels nice here. And at some point, walking the hands a little further up the mat and sliding the right knee towards the right wrist. Reaching the left toes back as far as feels good. And then, hopefully your pillows are closer than mine. You can lift up and place this pillow underneath the hip, or place maybe a couple pillows underneath the hip to make sure you're really fully supported here. And then you might place some other pillows out in front, again, so you can relax fully into this pose. But before diving down, just take a nice little back bend here. Opening up the chest, take a nice breath in. And when you're ready, we'll fold forward into this pigeon pose. Relaxing all the way down. Again, grabbing as many pillows as feels right here. And just like before, you can keep the forehead down onto a pillow, or you can look to either side. Whatever makes the most sense for you today. And again, checking in with the breath. We can use these heavy exhales here to allow for more relaxation, for more letting go. Heavy exhales as we sink into this hip. And breathing here. One of the biggest lessons for me when it comes to letting go over the last few years has been my need to let go of judgment. So we live in a society that really kind of pushes the idea of judgment for others. Whether you're raised in a more religious household that taught you to see people as good and bad or right and wrong, or you started to compare yourself to others. Comparison can be a big form of where we pull from judgment. So if we're feeling inadequate in our own right, we're going to judge others for the same qualities. But also, the biggest conflict I've had with judgment was really my own judgment for myself. And I'm sure you've experienced this at times where you've judged your own choices or actions at some point in your life. And so really being able to let that go has been a big practice for me. A lot of forgiveness meditation. Of course, I've got one of those in the meditations for you. But the work of Gabrielle Bernstein, her book, Judgment Detox, has been a really nice one for me here. So just something to recognize. Maybe the judgment, letting go of judgment doesn't feel like a lesson for you right now, but check in with something that you might need to let go of, something that you might need to reevaluate for yourself. And we'll sink in here for a few more breaths. Heavy exhales just sink in. When you're ready here, using the hands on both sides of the body, both sides of the front pillow, start to press yourself back up gently into the top of the pigeon. And really taking your time coming out of this one. I have to put my glasses on so I can see the cameras here. Awesome. So just lifting up, start to move this pillow out of the way and slide the back knee forward, front knee back, kind of just wiggle your way back to tabletop for a moment. I'm trying to eat my own hair here. Okay, great. So hands underneath shoulders, and again, maybe just wiggle those hips side to side. And we're going to take that to the other side when you're ready. Gently taking that left knee, sliding it up towards the left wrist. And that right leg can reach back as far as feels good. And again, grabbing the pillows here, trying to keep the hips square to the front of the mat. And we'll slide a pillow to underneath this hip for the support that you need. Kind of evaluating where you're at today. This pose is always changing for me. I'm sure it will for you too. And again, pillows in front. Taking a nice breath in, finding an extension here. And as we exhale, we fold into this resting pigeon, ready to sink in fully and relax. Allowing the body to be heavy here, allowing things to sink in. And with this hip, maybe checking in with the other elements that you need to let go of. Whether you felt any calling to the judgment element, the judgment release. Check in here, allow some silence on my end, and see if you can dig into some other things that you need to let go of. Maybe they're insecurities, or maybe you're holding on to past stories or grudges or things of that nature. See what you can let go of today, just sinking into this hip. Heavy exhales here. Again, using those long breaths, heavy exhales to engage the parasympathetic nervous system, engaging the parts of the body that remind everything to rest, to calm down, releasing some feel-good type hormones into the body, allowing for that rest and restore moment here. And when you're ready, at some point, again, using the hands, start to press ourselves back up at the top of this pigeon pose, making any gentle adjustments that we need to. Some lifting up off the pillow here, or maybe throwing the legs around to the front. We're going to just get into our final pose already. A really gentle, soft practice today, just bringing things back to center and releasing the low back here. So I've got the use of a couch nearby, so if you've got a couch or a low bed nearby, we're just going to put our legs up on that, using a little extra support. Your other option would be to lie down flat on your back. And similarly to using the couch or a low bed, you can stack the pillows underneath to create something close to a 90-degree angle. This couch is a little bit low, so I'm going to put a pillow on the couch and do the same maneuver over this way. Now, what might also feel good, depending on your body or depending on the floor, or how high your couch is. If your couch is much higher, you can always place another pillow underneath at the bottom of the spine, the top of the tailbone here, and just sink in. Allow the arms to rest down by the side, palms up, eyes closed. And we'll just hold this here. The legs are rested on the couch, just allows the low back to flatten onto the earth. Another option, if it feels good and you want to open up the hips a little bit more, you could bring the soles of the feet together on the couch or on the bed and open this up here very similarly. But whichever pose you choose, there's no right or wrong. So allow yourself to really sink in. Again, everything becomes heavy. This is our last pose, so just sink in. Allow that full effect of letting go to really embody everything about your being right now. Just think about heaviness. Where can you release some more weight? Where can you let go a little bit more? And again, just letting the back be fully supported by the ground below you. Just sink in here. Fully supported. Trusting that you're safe. Trusting that everything can support your body if you just let go a little bit more. Sink in a little bit further. And let that heavy exhale guide you into the relaxation here. And just checking in with, again, your own judgments. Sometimes it can feel frustrating to have completed a whole yoga class and only have done 4 poses. Just recognize that if you selected this video today, it's probably exactly what you needed, so you're in the right place. Just relax, sink in, and know that you are doing the absolute best you can for your body by allowing this rest right now. And we'll stay here for another minute or so. Again, just check in, see where you can release a little bit more today. See where you can give a little bit more to yourself. Restorative, relaxing. You really deserve this self-care that you're providing yourself today. Allow yourself to fully embrace it as we hold this posture for just a little bit longer, enjoying the softness today. And from wherever you are, just start to begin waking up the body. Maybe if the knees are wide, bringing the knees back together. Maybe if you can bring the knees closer to your chest from wherever you're at. Just rock on the low back a little side to side. Maybe let the head roll side to side. If you've got some room to roll off your pillow here, maybe just come onto your side. And just hold this for a moment in fetal position. Taking a few breaths and just appreciating yourself for tuning in and knowing that you needed to slow down today. Just appreciating that. Appreciating any lessons that you learned today that you need to let go of. And when you're ready, we'll gently push ourselves up into a seat. No rush, no hurry to get there. Thank you so much for slowing down with me today and enjoying this resting, restorative practice. I hope you feel like you were able to release and let go and keep returning to these restorative practices, maybe once a week or maybe every other week as you're beginning and it feels kind of awkward to be doing restorative. Let me know what other kind of classes you would love to see, if you'd like to see more of the gentle flows, longer or shorter versions of these, or any other poses I could give tutorials of for you. Anything you're needing, really, just let me know. I'm happy to record anything of your needs. Hope to connect soon. Namaste.